StraighTAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. What is that? That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is part 2 of our ongoing mini-series, Why I Am Not a Politician. And if you didn't hear the intro to this and my explanation of why I'm even talking about this, please go back and listen to yesterday's episode. But without further ado, we just pick up where we left off. Point number 4. Topic once again here today is why I'm not a politician. This is an ongoing 3-part series. This is part 2. Point number 4. Having to listen to, answer to, or be subordinate to others who have more seniority than me. When you're a politician, you kind of have to do this. Most of the time, you end up in this position. Even if you're the president, sometimes you got to do this. Because let me explain something to you about me, for those of you who don't know. Even though I'm an entrepreneur now, I've had a lot of jobs. Before I became a professional athlete and full-time entrepreneur, I worked somewhere between 20 and 30 jobs, meaning being employed, W-2, bi-weekly paycheck, 20 and 30 jobs. Some of you who work at a job right now, I've worked more jobs than you have. All right, and I'm saying that to say this: I know how to be a good soldier. I'm a very good soldier if I so choose to be or chose to be a soldier. I know how to be a very good soldier. I'll be one of your best employees if I work for you. Any of you who's a boss or supervisor, I'll be one of your favorites because I show up every single day and do the work. I know what I'm doing. I know how to take instruction. I know how to follow direction, and I am consistent and reliable, guaranteed. All that being said, knowing how to show up every day, do the job assigned to me, be a trusted member of the boss or the supervisor. Problem is I simply don't want to be one. I know how to be a soldier. I just don't want to be a soldier. This is why I chose to become a general. And once I got a taste of being a general, I knew I could never go back to being a soldier again, which is why I can confidently assert to you that I will never have a boss ever again in my life. I don't like people being able to tell me what to do. It's just me. Now, if I was to get into politics, knowing that I stand in this space on this square that I just gave you, if I were to get into politics, there will be people there who have been in politics for longer than me. They are more entrenched than I am. They have more and stronger relationships than I would have because I'm brand new. They've been longer than me. They have more leverage and more pull than I have. They have more donors and more money for their campaign coffers than I have. They got more of everything than I got. Only thing I might have more of is, I don't know, social media followers, content on the internet. Everything else, they got me beat. Okay? Everything else, they got me beat. Okay? And they have me in every possible political category. They can outdo me and they can beat me in a war of attrition. So unless I'm a complete idiot, I'll have to respect the fact that they are holding higher cards than I am. Any of you who plays any kind of card game, you understand what I mean. They're holding higher cards. I mean, they got a stronger hand than me. So if push comes to shove, I can't win against these people because they got more than I got when it comes to political capital. And if I got in politics today, over the age of 40, there are people who have been in it since they were in their 20s. They got a lot of political capital that I simply don't have, and I can't beat them at that game. At least not early on, I can't. What does this mean? This means I would have to, as I told you in the previous point, I would have to show some level of respect to people who I might not respect and who I might not like, just because they hold a position that I need to go through in order to get certain things done. Because of who they are, in order to get certain things done, I need their support. Let's say I'm working in Congress and I'm trying to get something done in Congress, and there are 535 members of Congress. I'm brand new. I have no real pull with anybody. I might have 3 or 4 friends because I just got there. Now, there's someone who knows like 300 members of Congress, and they can get basically 300 people in Congress to agree with me on something if I can get that person on my side. If I can get this high leverage person who has access to everybody on my side, I can get 300 people to agree with my thing if I can get this one person to agree, because they'll tell everybody else to follow them. But I don't like this one person. I think this person's a liar. I think they are a backstabber. I don't have any respect for them. I don't even like what they stand for. But if I'm going to get anything done in Congress, I got to get on this person's side. What do? Either get nothing done, A, or B, you compromise yourself and pretend like you like this person and basically kiss up to this person because they know they have power that you don't have. So everything I just told you, they're holding the high cards. They know that as well as I know it. All right. They know that I know they're holding all the high cards. So they know that they can extract things out of me because of their position relative to mine when I come to them asking for something. They know that, and they're going to use it. Now, what do you do? What do you do? If you want to get anything done, you don't really have a choice. This is the game of politics. I got to show respect to this person, and I don't respect them. This is inevitable and unavoidable in politics. It's also unavoidable in any kind of bureaucracy. How many of you have ever worked in a corporate job and you had to pretend to be nice to and kiss up to a person who you really did not personally like simply because you couldn't get your job done without doing it? And how'd that make you feel? That's the reason why I don't want to be in politics. That's the reason why I don't want to be in that game. I like being in a position where there is no one on the planet who can tell me what to do, and I have no reason and no inclination to change that circumstance. That's the game I want to be in. If I got into politics, that would change that circumstance. Now I got to listen to people who I don't really want to listen to, and that's not a game that I want to play. And any time you step into a bureaucracy where there are people who have a lot more power than you have, this is the game that you have to play. And as I already told you, you want to get anything done in politics, I mean, what are you going to do? What do you do? There's no clear, easy answer to this question. This is the reason why politics is a stressful job, because no matter what you do, there's no clear, direct, easy answer. You got to do something. And that's why it takes a certain makeup to be in politics and a certain level of nothing better to do to be in politics, generally speaking. Moving on to point number 5. Today's topic, once again, is why I am not a politician. Number 5. Here's another reason why there's no easy answers. No matter what you do, half the people are going to be pissed off at you. All right, 5 points into this series, I'm finally getting around to talking about actually serving the people. I hope you noticed that. First 4 points of this series, I didn't say anything about actually serving the people, which is ostensibly the reason why politics exists, right? A bunch of people allegedly volunteering themselves to help the people out. I'm finally getting around to talking about the people in point number 5. No matter what you do as a politician, half the people are going to be pissed off at you. First of all, half of them didn't even vote for you, and generally speaking. And half of them just don't want you to do things the way you decide to do it. Even if you're doing the thing they want you to do it, they want you to do. They just don't like how you're doing it. Yes, they want a new stadium for the baseball team, but they don't want it to be taxed. They want this baseball team to pay for it. You allowed the baseball team to get a tax subsidy to pay for it, and they're mad about that because that money's coming out of their pockets. Hey, this baseball team has a $1 billion owner. Why are we as residents paying for the stadium? Why can't they pay for it? Now they're pissed off at you because you allowed it to happen. See, now we're finally getting around to serving the people, and they ain't even happy. All right, so even here you run into existential problems. No matter what you do, about half the people don't like either what you did or how you did it. People might be mad about what you're trying to do, who you're doing it for. People might be mad about who you're cool with, who you're doing it with, or the opportunity cost of doing it, i.e., you're building a new stadium for the baseball team, but there's 3,000 homeless people living down under the highway overpass. Why don't you get the homeless people off the street first and build a shelter instead of building a baseball stadium for these billion-dollar owners who already got a bunch of money? Why are you doing that, Mr. Mayor? Now they're mad at you for that. And if you go help the homeless people, then the people who own the baseball stadium, well, they got a whole lot of fans. They got a whole lot of friends. They can leverage those social media reach and their friends in the media to shit on you for not building the new stadium, because now they're threatening to move the team out of Miami and move it to Tampa Bay because you won't build them a new stadium. And now the fans are mad that you're going to make us lose the baseball team. So no matter what you do, somebody's pissed off and they're going to use it against you. So if you go build the baseball stadium, all the people saying, why are you helping these rich people are going to trash you, and the social workers are going to trash you because you're not helping the poor people. You go help the poor people, then the rich people who have a whole lot of reach and a whole lot of friends in the media, they're going to trash you in the media. So no matter what you do, again, you're pissing somebody off. And again, look at Barack Obama when he got in, look at Barack when he got out. All right, that's why. Y'all understanding this? Everything has a cost. Whatever reasons people think you have for doing what you do, if they're not as benevolent as they want your reasons to be, these are the voters. I'm talking about the everyday people or the people in the media. If they don't like your reasons for doing what you do, all right, they're going to be pissed off. They're going to attack you. They won't feel good about you. And there is no way as a politician you can please everybody. If there's a politician out there who pleased everybody, say their name. Tell me their name. There ain't one. Now, I'm not saying are there politicians that you liked. All right, you liking somebody does not mean they pleased everybody. It's two different things. Name a politician who everybody liked. There ain't one. Zero. As a politician, there is no way as a politician you can please everybody. I talked about this in episode 1663, where I talked about this concept called the shit sandwich. What is the shit sandwich? It means no matter what you do, there is something shitty about it that you had to deal with. You want to be a professional athlete, there's a shit sandwich to eat. You want to be a lawyer? There's a shit sandwich. You want to be a politician? There's a shit sandwich. You want to be rich? There's a shit sandwich. You want to be poor? There's a shit sandwich. You're a man? There's a shit sandwich. You're a woman? There's a shit sandwich. No matter what you do, there's a shit sandwich that you must eat by virtue of doing that thing. There is nowhere you can go in life where there is not a shit sandwich that you must consume. The fact that you don't know about it does not mean that the sandwich does not exist, and it does not mean you will not be force-fed that sandwich by hook or by crook. Guaranteed. So the question is not whether you will have to eat a shit sandwich. The question is, which flavor of sandwich do you prefer, because you must eat one. I'm referring to every one of you. Every one of you listening to me right now, whatever you do personally, whatever you do professionally, there is a price you have to pay for doing it. Shit sandwich is another form of the third law of economics, which is everything has a cost. There are no free lunches. So the shit sandwich of being in great physical shape is that you got to go to the gym and work out. And sometimes you don't feel like working out, but you got to do it anyway. The shit sandwich of being a parent of young children is that sometimes the kid's going to wake up in the middle of the night or pee in the bed or get sick, or they're going to have nightmares, and they're going to wake you up out of your restful sleep to deal with them, and you're going to feel groggy the next morning because you ain't getting no damn sleep. But that's the trade-off of having kids. Our trade-off of not having kids is that one day you're going to be maybe past your child rearing age, at least what you think is, and you're going to start having what they call, I hear women saying this, baby fever. You want to have a baby, but you ain't got a baby, and now you're feeling bad because you never had a baby, and your bloodline ends when you die, and you're going to feel bad about that. No matter what you do, there's a shit sandwich. That's the point. All right, you got a show that comes out every day like mine. It's a great thing. You got all this content that came out. The shit sandwich is that you got to record all the time to keep the show going. Now, there is a trade-off to everything, folks. What shit sandwich do you want to eat? No matter what you do in life, you must eat the shit sandwich, okay? One of the shit sandwiches of politics, and one that I'm explaining, there are a lot of shit sandwiches, probably a bunch that I don't even know about. I'm talking about this from the outside in. You get somebody who's actually been in politics, they could probably do a 10-part series. I'm only doing a 3-part series because I ain't in politics. If I got in politics, I could give you a longer series than this. One of the shit sandwiches of being a politician is that you can't please everybody. And somebody's going to be pissed at you no matter what. Do you want to deal with that? I don't. I got people pissed at me even though my shit sandwich is not the same thing. I still get people pissed at me. You tell people what you really think, they're going to be pissed at you. You compromise yourself to try to please everybody, somebody's going to be pissed at you. No matter what you do, or you're going to be pissed at yourself and not telling people what you really think. Whatever it is. Point number 6. Today's topic, once again, is why I'm not in politics. Number 6. High levels of bureaucracy means it's hard to get anything substantial done. It's hard to get substantial things done when there are high levels of bureaucracy. This is a guy named Larry Elder. Y'all familiar with Larry? Larry Elder is a black guy who is a announced conservative who is in California. I don't think he's from California, but he's based in California. And Larry Elder at one point was trying to defeat Governor Gavin Newsom in California, at least as of now. He's still the governor as of now. Larry Elder was trying to, I don't know there's a certain term they use that when you can basically try to unseat the current governor based on a certain process. And Larry was trying to push through this process, and he was running as a Republican trying to unseat the governor in California, the Democratic Governor Newsom. And it's been a while since there's been a Republican governor in California. And many people were saying that even if Larry Elder were to win an election and defeat Governor Newsom and become governor as a Republican, he wouldn't be able to get much done because the whole legislature of the state of California is all Democratic, and they would basically block anything that he tried to do. And they were generally right. Now, he didn't end up winning, so Gavin Newsom is still the governor. But the sentiment was accurate in that it'd be very hard for Larry Elder to get anything done. Doesn't mean he shouldn't try. He did try. But it would be very hard for him to get anything done. And what I'm explaining here is in point number 6. When you're in politics and the side that is opposing to you has more power and more votes than your side, it'll be very difficult for you to get anything done regardless of how hard you try. This is one of the reasons why I say all politicians are liars and why you should never depend on the government or politics is because, the way the politics work in the United States of America is that it's a very partisan system, meaning that the Democrats do things to support Democrats and they will do things to block Republicans regardless of what it is. Just because it came from a Republican, the Democrats will block it. And just because it came from a Democrat, the Republicans will block it. This is the way politics work in America. That has nothing to do with serving the people. That's all about them serving themselves. This is, again, why I don't trust politicians and why you should never depend on them. Because the game they're playing is not about helping you. It's about serving themselves. So if I was running as a Democrat, for example, the Republicans will try to block everything I wanted to do, not because they disagreed with it, but just because a Democrat said it. It doesn't even matter if it was me. It could be anybody else. Just because the Democrat said it, the Republicans will say no. And just because the Republicans said it, the Democrats will say no. Again, who signs up for a job like this? These levels of bureaucracy make it hard to get things done if you don't have the system on your side, i.e. the votes on your side and enough people on your side. Now, I want you to understand that this is designed as one of the features of government, not a bug of government. This is a feature of the system. This is why we have a system of what we call checks and balances. The system of checks and balances is actually a good thing ostensibly. Why? Because it blocks absolute power. The president, regardless of who they are, the governor, the mayor, can't just go and do whatever they want, because they have to go through a system of checks and balances before they get anything done, before they can actually execute on any idea. That keeps anyone from just running roughshod over everybody by doing whatever they want. This is why we don't have kings and dictators. We have presidents, but they have to go through a system to get things done. That's why things happen to move very slowly, because of how many people you got to get agreement from before anything begins, or let alone completes. No one individual can just do whatever they want in government, because you got to go through all these other channels in the process. The thing is, the mayor of a city, what applies to the mayor of a city applies the same way to the president of a country. Now, on a lesser level, but it still applies. The mayor can't just do whatever they want. And when the mayor can't do what they want to do, what they usually do is they appeal to the public and say, hey, I'm trying to do this, but the people in the city council or the people in the legislature or whatever they call it, they're stopping me from doing it because they think that, and it becomes this media war. This becomes this war of framing. I am registered as a member, not a member, excuse me, but a resident of Miami Beach. So I get the messages from the mayor of Miami Beach. And the mayor of Miami Beach right now, I forget the guy's name. I believe he's gay. I forget the guy's name, but I think it's Steve something. And I think he's a gay guy. And the mayor before that was a guy named Dan Gelber. I believe he's Jewish. And Dan Gelber used to always send these messages out. And he would send out videos. And when he was happy about things, he would say good news and we got this done, that done, that done. And when he couldn't get something done, he would send out a message and there'll be a video. And he would send out the video and he would say, hey, I'm trying to get this done, but I can't get it done. And he would blame some people in the city legislature who were blocking him from getting things done. He would frame it as if they were messing up. And since he had the biggest megaphone, he was trying to make them look bad. And they would come out with things and say, well, the mayor's doing this and he's wrong. And it would be this back and forth. The whole point is that's the system of checks and balances. Is that you can't just do what you want, even if you believe you have righteous and benevolent reasons behind your behavior. This is a good thing in one way, because again, nobody can just do whatever they want, but it's also annoying and frustrating when you're the one trying to do things, because there are other people in that system who are trying to stifle and block you, not because they disagree with your idea, because they disagree with you and who you allegedly are working for. Just for that reason alone, they'll block you. And there's not much you can do to go around them if you can't get them on your side. If you can't get them to agree with you and cooperate with you, then they'll just block you every step of the way. And you got to deal with it. Again, you've seen this many times. Look at Barack Obama in the last couple of years of his administration. The Republicans got control of both houses of the legislature, both sides of the legislature, the Senate and Congress. And they pretty much just decided anything Barack Obama wants to do, we're going to say no. It didn't matter what it was. Anything he tried, we're going to say no. And Barack Obama couldn't get a damn thing done for those last 2 years because they said, we're going to say no to anything this guy says. And I guarantee you that if the Democratic Party were to get control of both sides of Congress in an election, a midterm election while Donald Trump is president, this is exactly what they're going to do to him. This is the game. And again, what does any of this have to do with helping us, the everyday citizen? The answer is not a damn thing. And this is the reason why I wouldn't want to be in politics, because this would be very frustrating if you're serious about trying to actually help people. And that's the reason why you got into politics. And then you run into this shit. You're like, oh, wait a minute, what are we actually doing here? And if you go stand on the floor of Congress and try to preach this, ain't nobody trying to hear you because they're all too entrenched in playing that game. They forgot the game they got in for, allegedly. This is politics. So do you want to play this game? Again, I'm telling you that I do not. I'm giving you the reasons why. And oh yeah, I'm not done. We got 3 more reasons, but let me recap what I told you here today. Today's topic, once again, recapping, is part 2 of our series, Why I'm Not a Politician. Number 4, having to listen to, answer to, or be subordinate to others who have more seniority than me. Again, even if I don't like them or respect them, I got to somewhat bend to their will or kowtow to them because I need their help to get anything done. Number 5, no matter what you do, half the people, actual citizens, will be pissed off at you. Again, this is the only point I made so far that has anything to do with the people who we're actually supposedly working for. And number 6, high levels of bureaucracy means you can't get anything substantial done if the bureaucracy doesn't want to help you get things done. In other words, if there are people on the other side of the political aisle from you who you must go through to get anything done or even initiate it, and they decide they're just going to block you just because of who you represent, you get nothing done. And there's really not a damn thing you can do about it. You are pretty much stuck in the mud, not being able to get anything done. Who wants to sign up for this? I damn sure don't. This is one of the reasons, another reason why I'm not a politician, but I'm not even done. We got more reasons why in tomorrow's episode. Between now and then, make sure you go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, learn more about how you can work with me directly and take your next step to doing so. And also go to dreallday.com-AI so you can get there, dreallday.com/AI, so you can access to my Dre GPT 1.0 chatbot, so you can talk to me as if you were talking to me and get direct answers straight from my mouth, not from my mouth, but from my trained language, from my style, as if I was talking to you, as if I was having a live conversation with you right there. Go to dreallday.com/AI. And that bot is free to use, by the way. Work on your game. Dre all